Hey everyone, so in this video we are going to make this bottom navigation. So what I have done is I have cropped the screen to the size what I need it in, like this. And I have brought all the components using the asset panel right here, and I have resized them into 20 by 20 instead of 24 by 24 because they are using 20 by 20 icons. Now I've added the text and text applied the caption bold because this is the size it is being used here. I One thing I'm going to do is to rename this. It is a good practice to rename the layers. So I this is just a text that will be used below all of these. So I guess it is a good thing. We do it with the beginning. So the icons I used were a bit different than the ones they are using, so you can see there is a slight difference in that, but still we need to make sure that we align them properly. So I have placed the icons right where they need to be, and since it gets complicated, what I'm going to do is reduce the opacity for my screen. So again, it will help us see our own work easily. So added this. These two needs to be in the same colors. So primarily this. Now I am going to write grocery, and the color should not be black. So instead of checking things manually, what I'm gonna do is see navigation icon gray 800. So it is using gray 800. I'm gonna grab these and choose gray 800. Okay, so our focus is only on this area, but still we're gonna keep them. So if I see the bottom navigation, there is a egg-shaped thing background. So for that I am going to add this, and probably I should place it at the side, and now I'm going to resize it like this. And probably I should add a stroke and remove the fill, or probably reduce the opacity of the fill to see what exactly is happening below it. Maybe 100% for this scenario, and see how it fits. Okay, this is not how it is going to fit, so probably angle it a bit, and then I am going to press when I have selected this um, rectangle, sorry, the circle, I am going to press enter, and it will have these nodes which I can select to change things. So what I'm gonna do is this, place it where I need it to be. This should probably move like this, then it will look like an egg. Okay, it looks reasonable. Again, this part, now play around with this to fit them exactly where we need them without causing a lot of damage to the screen. Okay, I have added this just to bring the opacity back. I'm gonna remove this and see what color they are using. So they are using this color, lighter one. Place it right here and bring this to the top. I'm going to press control and square brackets, sorry, control shift and square brackets. Now we have everything ready. So now I just need to bring all these outside. Okay, so this and this, it can be paired in one frame. I'm gonna add them in a frame and resize by 20 by 20, so this background doesn't cause any problem when I'm applying auto layout and details. So it's still there, it's just it won't hurt affect the spacing, etc. Now I'm going to select these two, center align them, select these two and center align them. And I'm gonna see which, so grocery is the biggest word and it is 40 points wider, which means if I decide to go keep the items, the frame around them 48, all of this text can be covered. So I am just going to do this and apply auto layout, and I'm going to call it bottom navigation nav selected, probably selected. Now I'm gonna apply auto layout and not selected. So now we have the items ready. Is it this easy? Yes, it is. So we are going to convert them into a component, and I am just using the word nav here. There are two things we can do. This is state, not the type. So what you can do is to just make these variations and all of means like the way I just did, and then compile them to make a whole bottom navigation. It will help us create the versions for this. So you can imagine on this page, home page is selected, so it looks like this. It means there will be a page in the app where grocery is selected, there will be a page where retail is selected. So it means the whole full version of the bottom navigation will have more 5 variations. So these are atomic level components, and that will be uh, uh, what level, molecule level components. So you can try that. In this video we won't be doing this, um, just keeping this things simple for now. Okay, so one thing that we need to do is just make sure that these are center aligned, and then I am going to resize them. So resize them, you can just simply add the number 48 and to both of them. Now what I'm gonna do is just test my theory that 48 will work fine. Placing it here, if I add the version, not selected version here, there is some spacing. I should probably clean these to test that they fit well. Another 48 will go here, another 48 will go here, and another 48 will go here, like this. So selecting them and to see what spacing is being used between them, 24, perfect, that will fit perfectly fine, and all of the text will be covered. So which means 48 is a safe number to move forward with. You can try going a bit more wider if needed. Just make sure that the item just that I just removed, they are not overlapping, because later, and if we talk about bit more technicality, these will become the touch area. So 48 is the number I chose for the minimum touch area. You can of course go wider, it's just don't overlap things, because this needs to be touched separately, this needs to be touched separately. Okay, so we're done with this. Now what we are gonna do is we should place it, sorry, I should not have deleted it, so I'm gonna update this. So to update this I need some property to be applied on my not selected state. One thing you can do is to make a non-selected slate for exactly this, but since I'm not going into detail of having all 5 version of the full bottom navigation, so I'm gonna keep it simple and just apply the instance, icon instance here. I need basket, I need list, and before list I need the search icon, search, and then the order list. Where is the order list? Here it is. And the property is created, which means now I can simply, instead of just applying things, I am showing you how you can apply things when there is a need. So I placed items here and I realized I need to change icon, so I went and applied the property. Now I'm gonna update the property like this. To show you clearly, I should again reduce the opacity. Yes. Okay, now the text needs to be updated. I've told you guys that this can be updated easily, but you can see there is a random spacing, so we'll quickly go fix this. Fill container, and when I do fill container it misaligns, which means I need to update this. I need to do the same with this. So this is how in the beginning, when you are working and you're not sure what the next step should be, you can try these things. Base component, make sure you make it same or the way you got the inspiration from. But after that, you have made that, when you are using, just try a few things with this. Means if it is a button, place it at 2 3 different places and see how it works, and then update accordingly. It's just, don't be too late while updating, because if you make a change and then you will have to revisit a big change, uh, very big change. In fact, if you have used, let's say, made 20 or 30 screens, and after that you update a component like this, changing the alignment or spacing, it can mess up your design. So that's why I'm saying that you need to test things initially when you're done with the component. So yep, that's what we are doing. Now I am going to I need the text, I need text to be updated. So I'm gonna go right next to the text area, and I'm gonna call it label, since I'm using the word label again and again. Okay, so it is there. I'm not sure what it said below. Okay, retail. So again, now I am going to update the text. It says browse. It says orders. Okay, now we just need to select, apply auto layout, and I'm going to add some padding. So you see 12 padding on both sides, and then align them in the screen. It will, the width will be in the matching, will after doing these two things, auto layout with 24 spacing and 12 margins around it, it the width is equal to the screen I am working it. It shouldn't be smaller or bigger than this. Why? Because when I was looking at this component, I saw that this is end to end. It is not floating. It is not away from anywhere. So I just need to make it end to end. One thing, and the another thing is that we just broke a small rule which we applied. Like, we are supposed to keep things within the grid, but the grid said the margins are 16, but right now I just applied the padding to side padding, horizontal padding to be 12, which means that you see there are some components where we can easily, not easily, it's just sometimes we need to keep the visual design in balance, like we did in the top navigation with the icons and the spacing, sorry, the touch area and a lot of details. We can break the rules on those components, not everywhere. So top navigation and bottom navigations are the only things we saw, and probably these are the two places you might be breaking some rules too. but still you need to make sure the style is visually aligned because we're doing it for visuals. Now we need to add some padding to make vertical padding to see what sets. So top navigation and the bottom navigation according to material design needs to have a minimum width of 56, I think. Yes, 56. So I'm gonna make sure that it is around that. Perfect. 56. For 56, no, actually I made it bigger. Now it is good. 56. Okay, now I am going to add some fill. There are two ways. This time I added the padding here, and previously I was just making sure that the height is fixed, and if the height is fixed and things are center aligned, even this padding can be zero, but our design will be same. So it's again, it's the different way we can do things. Okay, I have applied this. Now I'm gonna go zoom in and see there is a slight shadow applied right here. And now comes the fun part. Let's add the shadows, which are a bit different than, okay, I'm not going to, first I'm going to call it bottom navigation. Okay, so to add the shadows, I'm just gonna add them. The problem is by default shadows are added below it, and we can't add the shadows below it. Why? Well, it's pretty obvious that there is nothing below where we can show those shadows. So we need shadows on the top. So let's revise some mathematical concepts. So in the two dimensional designs or space, this is y-axis and this is x-axis. The line that is, going horizontally, it is x-axis and it is y-axis. So here you can see the value of x is 0. So let's play around with it and add the value of 4. So it added the shadow right here because the value is plus. So you might want to visit the two-dimensional space and minus x and plus x, the kind of things, a bit more in detail. But I'm going to show you by playing around with this. So if I need my shadow to be here, I'm going to make it -4. So the shadow transfers there. Same goes with this. If I need my shadow to be at the top, it needs to be -4 or minus, the value needs to be in minus. So I don't need any shadow on x side, but I need some on y side. And I forgot what was the shadow color I used here. So 7070, I just copied it from here. I'm gonna keep the shadow same, and I use the opacity this. It's still darker, which means I'm doing something wrong, and it is kind of very random, not very smooth the way we see in the other apps, or maybe this one even. So it is lighter one, and it is smooth, not like this. So for me to make it smooth, first it's big, I need to reduce. In fact, I only need one side. Yes, so this blur size needs to be bigger than this value uh, to for it to be smoother. So you can see, okay, this looks good. Probably 8. No, 8 is big too much. 6 is more than enough, and probably reducing some opacity. I'm gonna try placing it here and see. Okay, it is almost matching, so that is the goal. I'm gonna save it. Elevation 2. I'm just calling it 2. You can name them different ways. I have repeated this thing a lot of time. So I'm gonna turn this into bottom navigation. So again, to mention this one point, I'm removing this. So you see, you might in your own applications or any other place you're working, you might want to make the variations where grocery is selected and this egg shape is below this. So for that, you will be working on all. I applied all the properties here, so all those properties can be added here too. So you can do that and make all 5 versions of this. So get creative. I'm going to place these 2 items to my bottom navigation section, and we are done with another component. See you guys into the next in next video.